Hockey's back, baby. Let's go.
I think that's the goal there, to be honest. That hockey was phenomenal. All right, Phil Kessel is a Stanley Cup champion once again. And hey, Bruce, there it is. Bruce, there it was. At least it wasn't Adam Fox.
It's two juggernauts just colliding with each other. What? Weird. Now we have to deal with another generational talent in Chicago. Root.
I would say the Leafs have won in this next decision when it comes to coaching. Would you agree?
Maybe.
Okay.
I gotta see how it turns out, but it's actually an upgrade in a sense.
We'll pretty much get into it. So basically put, the Toronto Maple Leafs did relieve Sheldon Keefe of his coaching duties a few days after the Leafs were bounced out the first round there to Boston. Now, time passes and a new coach has been hired. Craig Berube is now a coach of the Toronto Maple Leafs.
He's back.
Might as well just get some opinions on here. Berube, I think, is a coach you need. The way 2019 is 5 years ago, fair enough. Sometimes with coaches, the time kind of runs out and you just need a new place to go. And I think you saw that with him in St. Louis. But when they won that cup with St. Louis, a lot of accountability seemed to be held between the coaches and the players. I think that's what this team needs, man. I think Toronto is too worried about hanging out with Bieber. And I think Berube might be someone who could potentially fix that.
I'm just so curious what the offseason for the Maple Leafs will look like, especially after the first round exit again by Boston, because there's been a lot of talk of people wanting Marner to go. They want to break up the core four. There's been people saying, like, nah, give it one more run. But bringing in a coach like Berube, definitely it's a good start, because this guy knows what it takes to get to a Stanley Cup with a team like St. Louis. And St. Louis didn't have stars like Matthews, like Tavares, like Nylander, Morgan Riley, sure, I guess. Sure. But anyways, yeah, I think Berube was a great addition for head coaching that I think Toronto might need. Do I think it'll work next season? I mean, probably not. It'll be a kind of a gelling season with the coach and the players for sure. But I can see next year, like the year after, it's going to be a big season for Toronto, because that's given Berube a year to kind of figure out these players and get the chemistry set and a good relationship with the coach. I think it could work really well in their favor. I guess we'll just tell in time, because we thought it was Keith. He had a really good regular seasons with the team, but as soon as playoffs showed up, second round, he made his second round. If Berube could get them to a conference final, I think Toronto would be much happy just in general. So conference final, push for it.
Definitely. What do you think? Do you think that this team has more big decisions to make? I mean, I would agree so, but do you think they make any more decisions during the offseason?
Yes. You figure out what you do with your core four, because for the last freaking few years with this core, it hasn't worked. You haven't gone anywhere. You've had amazing goalies in net, but you've had not a really great D core to help you out defensive-wise. And I think just Joseph Woll's going to look great for the future in Toronto. I think he could either be a starter or a backup based on how bad his injuries are, first of all. Samsonov would probably have to be gone, because I don't think they bring him back after that. And you deal with Marner. You either deal with John Tavares or Marner in that situation with Toronto, because you look at Matthews, he's locked up long-term for the time being. Same with Willie Nylander. And those are the two out of the core four that needs to be dealt with. And realistically, you could see Marner getting traded. I really could see it.
I think it'd be somewhat feasible, or it'd be more appealing to fans, per se, if the boys club can kind of leave. President of Hockey Ops.
True.
But, I mean, yeah, I think players are going to kind of go. Simply, it's not working. I don't see why you'd want to do another year of this. And it's been said the same for how long. Because now that they are gone out of the playoffs right now, a lot of people are thinking, man, it might have been good to pull the trigger after that comeback series loss against Montreal in the bubble.
Probably.
So right? So, which I think is 4 years too late now. It's something to
Just
think
a little
about.
bit.
Yeah.
I'm surprised Brendan
Or,
Shanahan's still there too, though.
yeah.
That's a shocker. I'm surprised they
Yeah.
haven't booted him first.
Or 21. Sorry, the 21 series. But you're right. Yeah. Well, I don't know. I mean, you think about it. Like, whose mess really is this? When you've gone through how many coaches? When you've gone through how many GMs? And okay, players for say, right? Like, we're in that kind of prime age of what you're seeing with who they drafted. But I mean, I can see this with some other teams too. Like, you did all the easy firings. Whose fault really is it when 100 coaches don't work and 100 GMs don't work?
It's a roster problem, 100%.
It's kind of
If you
funny
get
how that
rid of,
works, right?
it's kind of, yeah, you're right. It is, because eventually you're going to have to, in time, when you get rid of many coaches or managers, as the Leafs have, the next thing to really look at is your roster. How much of your roster is looking like they care to actually go deep in the playoffs, or rather go to the tee box and go play golf?
Yeah, I
It
mean,
doesn't
as
look
much
like.
as a joke, I agree. I think there's other teams that seem to have much more of a work ethic when it comes to this stuff, and you don't see it with
Sure.
Toronto, and that's why you hope that this coach puts him into shape, gets
Yeah.
him playing right to they want to win, and we talk about these young studs that are on this team. This kind of makes me want to go right into just Sheldon Keefe. So if you haven't known already, Sheldon Keefe has now been hired as the head coach of the New Jersey Devils. And I think it's kind of a similar situation where you have some all-stars on that team. Now, Keefe knows how to deal with all-stars. We'll see how it works out when the next season comes in and everything. But I do wonder, because the way that he played and used the stars in Toronto, will he do the same with Jack Hughes? Right?
Yeah. It's a real question. I still think Sheldon Keefe becoming the head coach for New Jersey is still a good fit, because, like you said, on how Sheldon Keefe managed the players with Toronto, you do make a good case that it is kind of the same scenario. With, you have all stars like Jester Pratt, you have Jack Hughes, you have Nico Heischer, and then defensively wise, it's a little bit more structured when you have Dougie Hamilton leading the charge. Then you have two young guys like you have Simon, and then you have Luke Hughes, his brother. So it's looking good defensive wise. I would say goaltending's a little bit shaky in New Jersey, but I feel like they could deal with that once they get Markstrom. Please give us so many picks. Give us prospects, please. but I
First round.
think yeah, but realistically, I still think it's a good choice for New Jersey to take a risk on Sheldon Keefe like this, because, like we said, Sheldon Keefe has a really good record in the regular season coaching wise. It's just, it gets shaky in playoffs, but you're not dealing with a Canadian market anymore. So the pressure on you has kind of eased a bit.
I was just going to mention that. I wonder how that also affects his coaching style too, because when you're not in Toronto, where the media just knows about what you had for breakfast, in New Jersey, still very passionate fans, and they care about the team as much as a Leafs fan would care about their team, but the media isn't going to go on them as much.
No.
I wonder if that's going to have an effect with it as well.
Yeah.
So maybe this is a recipe for success. It could be. So maybe that makes sense. I mean, I think it's a better signing than keeping Travis Green as a coach, as your head coach. Oh boy, oh Nelly. I mean, I think he's got some assistant coach capabilities, but ask Vancouver about that, So pretty much, I mean, that's pretty intriguing to see what these teams are going to look at. Toronto's gonna have a big shakeup, and New Jersey, it's just getting right back into those playoffs. I mean, if you don't make it next season, oh goodness gracious, that's gonna be something that Fitzgerald needs to figure out, because there's only so many setbacks until you realize that these players get older soon. They get older pretty quick.
Yeah.
Matthews there is in his prime now. A lot of things need to be done. So I think if they can fix some of those mistakes and not do what Toronto did, New Jersey might be in a good position. Oh, Buffalo coaching, more coaching. Buffalo got a new coach too, Lindy Ruff.
You're
I
right
forgot
about
about
the
that.
head coach. Right. Ah, I forgot.
Well, that's
Okay.
something. I don't think it was really Lindy Ruff's fault for not being in the or for New Year's not being in the playoffs. He's old school, man. Does Buffalo need an old school coach? I don't know. I mean, what do you think on this one, man?
Well, I mean, he's coached the team before, and the team wasn't great then. The team is young now, and do you really? Oh my god, I can't believe they went with him. I I totally forgot about this. Oh, I literally just scanned it. I was like, this is a terrible idea. Yeah, I mean, like it could probably toughen up the young guys a bit because let's be honest, like you said before, Buffalo has potential of being such a good team in the next few years. But now we're just like, when is it? When are you going to make the jump? Is it really going to be with this coach out of everyone that you make the jump? Maybe because he's a little bit old school, but like you have, I think personally that Buffalo has one of the best prospect teams right now out of everyone. And like, yeah, we're just waiting for them to jump, but I don't really see it coming with this coach.
They
I
have the
just don't.
potential, but they gotta get something that puts them over the edge. Does something like having a coach? This is how I see it with Toronto with Berube. Does Toronto have the ability to push Toronto over the hump? Because I expect them to make playoffs next year, even with a big trade if it was to happen. But
Yeah,
Buffalo, is he the coach? Is he the piece that's going to get them over the hump? I don't know, man. I don't think so. I'll be honest, but
I don't know.
maybe. Hey, and
Maybe.
if it happens, shame on us, right? We were wrong, and we'll have to lose our bet money. But there's history there too with the team,
Yeah.
so that helps as well. But maybe he is good with the young guys. We just don't know it. But
Well, I think also you got to think about just how that division is too right now because you look at Boston, you look at Tampa, you notice they're still aging, and it looks like their value as a team is going down in the wrong way. And then you see teams like Detroit, not Ottawa, Montreal, and then you see Buffalo, and they're looking like such good young teams. You're just waiting for them to jump the playoffs, but eventually one of those two of the four teams have to switch. Like two of the
mhm,
new teams make playoffs, two of them don't make playoffs. I'm just curious who because it doesn't. I thought Boston was going to drop this year. Apparently they didn't want to, and
yeah,
Detroit was so close to making playoffs that a lot of people said, "Hey, Detroit played way better than Washington did by the end of the season. They totally should have." But I'm
mhm,
just I'm just so curious to do standing predictions for next season already.
yeah, I know. I, again, I'm not thinking about it now because that's like down the road. But I don't.
There's so
I
much off
couldn't even.
season, but I'm just
I
curious, man.
couldn't.
I'm so curious.
Couldn't give you anything about it. But yeah,
Yeah,
coaching changes, man. Easiest job to. It's the most expendable job in the league, is what it seems like.
easiest job to
So
lose.
yeah, it's crazy.
Gotta
Love it.
love it. Oh shit.
Carolina Hurricanes, okay, not coaches, but other people in the boys' club. The general manager, he steps down. Don Waddell steps down.
Whoa.
We don't know why. I think there's some speculation that potentially what the whole organization wanted to do with the team compared to what he wanted, his vision is different, so he left. But he's gone,
Is
and assistant GM takes over the spot. Oh
Oh damn!
gosh,
I was gonna be like, is Rod the Bod getting a promotion to GM?
he
Whoa!
got re-signed.
No, I think, yeah, he did get extended. Yeah, but you
GM.
know what? If you're looking at Carolina now, you're also in a weird situation because, like you said before, with Martin Natius, they have to re-sign him if I'm correct, and I think he's
Yep.
unhappy. He's unhappy with the team, and you just lost in the second round against the Rangers, where I predicted you would at least make the conf. I said you would make the damn finals. My God, that was a dumb idea. But what do you do if you're Carolina from here, man? Like
Yep.
you've made
We'll see.
two conference finals, and then dropped two in the second round. Dang.
And so we'll see. Intern GM Eric Tulsky, right? So who was the assistant GM?
No.
we'll see what he does. I don't know if you have the intern tag on you. Do you make big enough trades that are going to absolutely affect whatever? I wonder. But maybe the intern tag's there, and he's going to be making the moves because he actually will eventually be the GM. But just waiting because he's under Waddell's wings for say.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot to think about with Carolina because the problem is you're running out of time with some of these contracts, and yeah, like Natchez would get you a haul.
Yeah.
But you got to think about things too. Like, I mean, I've been potentially buying out Kotkaniemi. Fair enough, man. Like, Canes are in a weird position because they should be much better than they should be. They're not performing to what they should be, and we all agree on that. And I mean, they should be making conference finals all the time. Or they should be getting past the conference finals too. Like,
They haven't
you
made a
got to
final.
resign Gensel. You got okay. So, oh gosh, look at this. Comtois, Jack Jury, Seth Jarvis, Martin Natchez, Suzuki, Jake Gensel, Jordan Martinhook, Stefan Nason, Teuvo Teravainen,
Holy
Dylan
shit!
Coughlin, Jalen Chatfield, Tony DeAngelo, Brett Pesce, and Brady Shea. What?
This was a really bad
like,
year to finish in a second round.
90% of your core, 80% of your core
What?
is a
Oh.
okay. Maybe he jumped ship because he knew he couldn't fix it. Oh my gosh!
Carolina, this was your year. Oh my god! You feel so much. You would feel so much happier if you won a cup, and then you're like, crap, I'm too hungover to deal with all these expiring contracts. But now you're just sad after a second round loss, and now you're like, shit. Now I gotta mix up this whole damn team of expiring contracts, and they're asking for so much.
That's 14 players with a cap space right now, about 27 million. Some of those players are getting 8.
At least
3 of those players need 8. That's 24 mil gone.
Yeah.
Who could you sign with $27 million right now? Okay, you probably
signing Gensel.
Seth. I'm telling you, Seth Jarvis is making bank. He's probably making about 6 to 7. So 7's gone. Gensel's making 9.
No. I would have said
probably takes a deal. You probably you're gonna have to let some of these guys walk, man, because you're gonna want to probably keep Chatfield on a team friendly contract there because you want to stack your right D. Dylan Coughlin, same thing, friendly deal. You probably let go of Tony D. Brett Pesce.
That's gonna hurt.
Brett Pesce. That's another 8 mil there. That's another 7 to 8 mil.
He might take a friendly contract and do 6.
A little less. You could be right. But point being, it's like, dude, most of your cap going to be gone in like 3 to 4 players.
That's a big offseason for Carolina for sure, man.
Something to look out for.
Yep.
I didn't even realize that.
That just makes me more excited to see what teams do in scenarios like this, especially with just the few teams we talked about. Every team is in such a different scenario, but it's still such an exciting scenario to watch of how different organizations deal with their situations. It's great to watch. But hey guys, we've been talking about all the coaches and everything, but that is going to wrap up CHEL Talk. I hope you guys did enjoy. How is round 3 for you guys? Are you enjoying it? Is your team winning? Is your team losing? And are they performing well? Let us know in the chat. Let us know in the comments. Leave a like and please subscribe. We're doing really well, and we love the support you guys are giving. T-Dog, wrap this up.
Like B-Dog said, thank you very much for listening, watching, however you are consuming this content. If you didn't like it, comment question of the day. Who is making it to the finals? Also, what does Carolina do? Oh my goodness.
I'm not GM. I wish I knew.
That's crazy. But pretty much, boys, watch some more playoffs. We're getting there to finals. Final season, baby. We'll see who hoists the cup. But until then, we'll be around. So, hey, keep on trudging along. And, hey, happy June. Oh, it's May. happy almost summer. I lied. Happy almost summer. I ruined it. But, hey, guys, keep at it, all right? Enjoy the rest of the day. Take care. All right. See you in the next one.
Peace.
Peace.